Nathan Zegura here at FirstEnergy Stadium, where the Browns get to 6-5 on the season with a 13-10 win over the Detroit Lions. And folks, this one was not pretty. It was not the performance you would hope to see from the Browns, but at the end of the day, every single win counts the same. They needed a win today. They got a win today. And how did they do it? Well, they played very good defense against the Lions team that was without its starting quarterback. Tim Boyle had to make the start. Jared Goff was out, and the Browns defense really, for the most part, held the Lions down. In the first half, after trading a couple of punts and then trading interceptions, Malcolm Smith getting a pick, the Browns would go 84 yards, capped off by a Jarvis Landry 16-yard touchdown run. It was a trick play where Landry would line up as the quarterback and look to throw it back to Baker Mayfield. But as the Red Sea parted, he sprinted to the end zone, got the score, and gave the Browns a 7-0 lead. Later on in the first half, the Browns would add another touchdown. This one, Baker Mayfield rolling out with kind of a sprint option to Nick Chubb for a receiving touchdown for Nick Chubb. In fact, his first receiving touchdown since his rookie year. Now that extra point would be blocked. It would be 13-0 Browns. The Browns also would have a missed field goal here in the first half. So they'd go into the half 13-0, and you felt like, okay, we're going to put this one away. But in the second half, the Browns offense couldn't get anything going at all. In fact, the Browns did not have a single drive of more than 50 yards in the second half, and it wasn't until the final possession of the game in which they put the game away, running out the clock with 42 yards, that they even have a drive that reached 30 yards of total offense. They really struggled, and Baker Mayfield came into this one banged up, and he was limping around the field. He struggled. Just 15 of 29 today, 176 yards and 2 interceptions. Now, the one in the first half did not lead to any points, but the one in the second half did. The Lions, they would make it 13-7 on a DeAndre Swift touchdown run of more than 50 yards, and all of a sudden it felt tense. The Browns then would throw the interception, a tipped ball. Baker Mayfield would be picked off. The Lions would get a field goal off of that, and it was 13-10. Now the Lions would get the ball back with a chance to take the lead. They would punt the ball back to the Browns, though. The Browns did a great job holding them down. They elected to punt the football back to the Browns with just over 2 minutes to go and all 3 timeouts. Well, the Browns are built for this. With Nick Chubb, they are built to run out the clock, and that's exactly what they did. They gave it to Chubb time and time again. Chubb would finish today with 22 carries for 130 yards, not to mention that receiving touchdown I talked about earlier in his return. You see what he means to this football team. Yes, you did it. You held it down, you got done when you needed to, you picked up the first downs, and you were able to get in that beautiful victory formation. But this was not an easy victory in a game that probably should have been. The Lions, they couldn't throw the football at all, and yet they were able to be in this game late into the fourth quarter. The Browns are going to have to be better than this going forward. This passing attack has got to get on track. And the penalties, again, almost a dozen penalties for the Cleveland Browns in this one. It seemed like whenever they'd have a good play, there would be a penalty, a lot of holds, pre-snap penalties. These are things that need to be cleaned up. The good news is you get to clean them up after a win. You're 6-5. The Browns have 6 games left this season. 5 of them in this conference, 4 of them in this division, all of them against teams that hope to make the playoffs, whether it be the 5 in the AFC or the Packers in the NFC. But the Browns will have to be better than they were today. The good news is the film room on Monday, it's watching a win as they get ready to travel to Baltimore and take on the Baltimore Ravens Sunday Night Football in a massive game for the Browns 2021 season. We'll have full coverage for you of this game, a Victory Monday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. Myself, Bo Bishop, and Joe Thomas at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Again, not pretty, but effective. The Browns win. Full coverage for you at clevelandbrowns.com and the Browns mobile app.